Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to be working on the Wattle Crochet stitch. This is a really fun stitch and it's actually really easy to do. It consists of a single crochet, chain one, double crochet in the same stitch. It works up to a really squishy fabric. It has a little bit of stretch to it. It's nice and toasty, fairly dense. So if you want something that doesn't have a lot of holes in it, this is a really good stitch for that. It's also pretty awesome for lots of color work. Okay, so this stitch is worked in rows and the multiple for this is the number 3. So it doesn't matter how wide your project is, as long as your starting chain is divisible by the number 3, you're good to go. So my starting chain is going to be 18 for row number 1, and I'm going to start from the 3rd chain from the hook. Now remember, that loop on your hook never counts as a stitch. So starting at the chain below that, count 1, 2, 3, and we're going to start in that stitch with a single crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and then chain 1. In the same stitch, do a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is the wattle stitch. Now I'm going to skip 2 chains. Working into 3rd chain, I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1. Again, working a double crochet in the same stitch, yarn over, insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, let's do that again. Count 1, 2, working in the 3rd chain over from our previous wattle stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 for a single crochet, chain 1. Now working in that same stitch, double crochet, so yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're just going to continue to repeat this until you get to the last 3 chains on your starting chain. So I'm going to leave you to it and I will meet you there. Okay, so I have 3 chains left at the end of my starting chain. If you don't have 3 left, then you need to go back and check your first row again. You need to make sure that you have 1 wattle stitch, skip 2 chains, 1 wattle stitch, skip 2 chains, so on and so forth until you get to the last 3 chains in this row. If you don't have 3 of those, you'll need to go back and fix it and make sure that you're on track. I do, so I'm going to skip those 2 chains, and in that 3rd chain, my final chain, I'm going to single crochet, chain 1, and turn, and start row number 2. Row number 2 is going to be the row that we repeat through the entire length of our project. So it doesn't matter how long your project is at this point, you'll just continue to repeat row number 2. So starting at the single crochet from the row below, we're going to start with our wattle stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1, and double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we need to skip 2 stitches and work into the 3rd stitch. If you look at the top of your row here, you can count it down to 1, 2, 3. That 3rd stitch is the single crochet from the row below. You can tell that it's a single crochet because it's worked into that chain stitch in the row below. So single crochet, chain 1, double crochet, skip 2 stitches, work into that single crochet from the row below with a single crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and you'll just continue to repeat this until you get to the end of the row. At the end of the row, you are still going to continue to work into the single crochet from the row below. It's just going to be a little bit trickier to see because it's at the end of the row. It kind of bends over just a little bit at the end there, but count them 1, 2, and 3, and then work into that third stitch. Again, you should be able to tell that that is a single crochet because it's worked into the stitch from the row below that. So finish off with your single crochet, chain 1, and turn. And again, you're just going to continue to repeat row 2 until you get to the length that you want. Let's take a second and talk about changing color. It's really easy. So we are at the end of our row. We need to work into that last stitch in our row with a single crochet. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, and stop right there. Now grab your new color and get it on your hook and pull it through those 2 loops. I'm just going to take a second and make sure everything is nice and snug here, so when I go to do my turning chain, I don't pull anything out, but otherwise that's it. It's that easy. So now when I move on to row number 3, I'm just going to continue to do the same thing that I did in row number 2. I'm going to start with my wattle stitch, so single crochet, chain 1, double crochet, skip the 2 stitches from the row below and just keep trucking along until I am finished with my project. And that's all there is from me, folks. If you missed anything, do please go back and rewatch this. I will also have links down in the description below for written instructions on the Ruby Grace blog, as well as patterns in the Ruby Grace shop for the wattle stitch. Thank you so much for stopping by. Love your face.